Hello, everyone. Welcome to Credential Up Houston. My name is Margaret Ford Fisher. Our show today focuses on dynamic individuals who made the decision to credential up and change their lives through education. They will tell us how they did it and how their decisions have influenced the quality of their lives and the lives of their children. Joining me in this first segment is Ms. Victoria Lara, who will share her journey and how she is now working to change the lives of others. Ms. Lara, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We are so very proud of your success. And one of the things that I think is critically important is that a number of individuals have said that if you know your why, you can deal with almost any how. And so I'd like to talk about that for just a few moments to discover for all of us your journey to success. So tell us about it.
Well, my journey to success really wasn't an easy one. It was something that I had to definitely work towards, very difficult situations, especially during the recession. So my journey starts right at the recession. I was a stay-at-home mom with 2 kids at the time. I really wanted to help my family's business. My husband was working there at the time. I didn't know what I could contribute because I didn't have an education, so I decided to try and get some type of coursework at HCC, and I found out that there was online education, and so I decided to, why not take a course or 2 at my house while I had my kids. I couldn't afford babysitting, so that's why I decided to enroll at HCC. It was the best decision for me. So I started taking courses. Eventually, my children would be at age where, you know, they could actually go to daycare, and I was working in my parents' business, started networking, started looking for opportunities, all while I was taking my courses at HCC online. It was a great starting point for me, and I feel like definitely the best decision that I've ever made in my life, especially now having transferred into the University of Houston and graduated from the University of Houston with a degree in corporate communications. The business has grown. We were able to pursue multi-million-dollar contract. And so through it all, I was able to see that how my education helped me, but not only helped my family, which is the best thing, because sometimes we do things, the why, you know, for me, but my why is really my family. I really wanted to help them. I really wanted to be a resource to them and also contribute to my community. So all along, I was volunteering, helping out. I've always been big on helping out for community events and structuring different programs for the community. I've also created a leadership conference, which was a partnership that we had with HCC Central Campus. And through it all, definitely seeing that that was where my heart is in serving the community. And so I went back and I started thinking, you know, what else I could do with, now that I have a degree, I have a career, I can definitely have something to offer. And I talked it over, prayed about it. I said, I want to be somewhere where I can help people, where I can use all my resources, my networks to be a bigger impact. And so I came across this position at the University of Houston, and coincidentally, it's called Helping Everyone Achieve a Lifetime of Health. So the Health Research Institute, and we offer community health programming initiatives that gives the community free health screenings, more opportunities to give them access to healthcare information. And I feel it's something that, I mean, for every community, whether it's low income, everybody needs access to healthcare or at least some type of information. And so that's what my role is now, is being active in the community. I've created a lot of health fairs now with our program Touch, which Touch is a grant-funded program by United Health Foundation, and we're able to offer the free screenings. Community members are able to come in, get screened. If they are at risk for diabetes, we give them a free family membership to the YMCA and a life coach that's going to give them a diabetes prevention class that's going to change their lifestyle, exercise habits. And so we're able to offer that here in the city of Houston, and it's something that hopefully we can continue to do in other communities.
Well, you're absolutely right, and that is so very impressive. And I'm curious to know if there were ever any points along the way where you felt like giving up, and how did you overcome that?
Definitely. I think every semester is tough, especially when you have kids. I have 4 kids now. So all through my journey being a mother, it's very difficult. You think about that balance. You want to have balance. What does that look like when you're working and you're going to school and you have kids? And every semester, my husband can attest that I would always go to him and I would cry and I would say, I don't think I'm going to do this anymore. I can't. And, you know, finals week is coming up. I don't want to do this. And he would always tell me, no, now you finish because you started and you have to finish. So you finish this semester. If you feel like you don't want to go back next semester, then reevaluate, but finish the semester. And so I would, okay, dry up my tears. And then sure enough, I would get my grades, and I was always on the dean's list. I always had great grades while I was in school. So I would reevaluate and say, you know what, when I was there, that wasn't that hard.
Wasn't that hard at all. Well, you know, it's very inspirational to hear the stories, because a lot of people will now look at you, and by the way, congratulations on your great success.
Thank you.
And they will say, oh my goodness, you know, she's a success. She's always been a great success. She didn't have to struggle like I am now struggling as a college student. So what would you say to persons who are grappling with wanting to become a success in life, but at the same time recognizing that then the reality in the moment they're dealing with various kinds of challenges?
What I would say to them is to continue with your education. There is no replacing having your education, because like I said, you can be an asset not only to yourself, but to your community. And I've struggled with it. I was actually pregnant with my third child while I was attending the Central College. And one day it started raining. And so I was pregnant. I was like 8 months pregnant. It was raining. People started running all over the place. And I parked in a faraway parking lot. So I had to literally walk in the rain while I was carrying my backpack with my laptops, books. And I cried the whole way to class. And it was something that I will never forget, because when I got there, my professor looked at me and she almost nodded her head like, are you okay? And, you know, I didn't want to go into class. I was wet. It was a horrible situation. I was pregnant. And I just looked at my professor and I said, I'm okay. And, you know, you could tell I was crying, but also, you know, I was dripping wet. So
yes.
I kept going because I was pregnant. I have children.
Right.
And I have to provide for them.
And a great role model indeed as well, because you set the example for them. And so in your role now at the University of Houston, which is really quite commendable, you are helping other people, and they, I'm sure, will also be inspired by your story and your success. And you're working now with persons who have diabetes, and you're going out into the community, and you're helping to inspire them and to help them to live a better quality of life as well, for themselves and for their families. So now, as we look at the next steps for you, what are they?
Well, definitely, I always feel like the sky's the limit. A lot of people have been, you know, coming through my ear, you know, what's your next move? What are you going to do? But I feel like for me, my passion is in the community. I love it. I don't feel like I'm working at all. And I'm definitely going to pursue either a law degree or an MBA pretty soon.
Well, either one, you'll be a tremendous success. And I wish you all the best. Ms. Victoria Lara, Education and Community Engagement, University of Houston Health Research Institute. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Very inspirational. So we're going to take a break, and when we return, we will listen to another success story. And so we hope that you will stay with us.
HCC. So many degrees, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
Did you know that Houston Community College has the largest enrollment of online community college students in the United States? Hi, I'm Paul Calhoun. The HCC Online College proudly enrolls over 20,000 students. We offer more than 30 online degree and certificate programs. as well as online student services, including admissions, advising, counseling, and technical support. HCC Online College, anywhere, anytime. For more information, visit our website, hccs.edu/online.
I don't know an industry today that doesn't rely on some amount of coding to run their business. Coding is the 21st century equivalent of the English language. And our particular flavor of this is the iOS Coding and Design School. And Apple's been very supportive and in fact joined with us to roll out the start of this Swift programming initiative. So it's a great opportunity to combine creativity with science and technology, contributing to this app economy.
HCC. So many reasons, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
Welcome back to Credential Up Houston. In this segment, we will talk to a mother and daughter team and learn how they encouraged and supported each other on their paths to success. Joining us are Ms. Angelina Aragon, sales associate with Puffer-Sweiven and recent HCC graduate, along with her daughter, Ms. Gaby Serrano. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So in the last segment, we were talking about the why and discovering that purpose and how once you do that, you can live with almost any how. So what was the why for you, Ms. Aragon?
Well, the why for me was also my family. It was my family. You know, when I graduated from high school, I moved off, and I always wanted to go to college, but I found myself with a family. I decided to get married and have kids. And in 2018 or 2010, when I was pregnant with my son, my youngest son, I found myself as a single mother through my pregnancy. And before that, we had a business together and everything seemed to be okay. But then I realized that my high school diploma was not enough for me to support my family of 4, because I have 4 children. And so life was just happening and I was trying to survive. And I always felt like I wish I could go back to college. I need to go back to college because I will never be able to provide to my family the way they need it unless I have a degree. Well, fortunately, my job, Puffer-Sweiven now, when I got hired on, one of the incentives is that they have 100% tuition reimbursement. So it's a company, employee-owned company, and so everybody, you know, owns something. So they're always wanting to promote, and they want us to develop ourselves. So they invest in us, and so that was a perfect opportunity for me to be able to go back, you know, while I was working and doing school online. And HCC happens to be like right down the road in Stafford from my job. And so I was able to run over there at lunchtime and get my books and talk to the counselor. And it was just very easy for me to do that. And so my motivation, of course, was my children. It has always been my children, and I wanted to be able to offer them better, offer them the best. But not only that, I wanted to be the example because, you know, my dad implemented high school, you know, the education a lot. He said, you know, it's really important. And that's exactly what I have done with my children. But deep down inside, I didn't feel fulfilled. You know, I wanted to be able to say, hey, I did it. You know, I have a degree. And so, you know, you should too, right? So I wanted to be the example and I wanted to provide as well.
What an inspirational story. And of course, you mentioned as well that your daughter, Ms. Serrano, helped you along the way. So tell us about that.
Yes. Well, she's the oldest, of course. So she's always been there helping me with them, you know. But during college, her being there for me was very important because being at home and doing online, it's definitely an option. But for me, everybody studies differently, and being at home, it was harder for me to do my online classes. So I like to stay in the office later, and I like to work on that there and stay focused. And she was able to step up at home. And so even though she had her high school, she's excelled in high school as well in her classes, but she was always there. So I could text her and say, hey, Gabby, can you make sure the kids are, did they eat? Can you make sure Junior's doing his guitar? And she was the mom at home when I was away.
Well, congratulations to both of you, because this is really a story that will inspire others who are working adults. They have families, they want to acquire an education, they want to earn that so that they can be the role models for their families as well. And then you have a precious young daughter who assumes the responsibility at home. What was that like for you, Gaby?
Honestly, it was kind of a challenge, because with my classes, there was a point where I was taking all AP classes, and I'm in National Honor Society, and I was just in athletics, I was in different sports, and taking dual credit classes and all this stuff. And it got kind of challenging at a point, because like I saw what she was doing, and I saw because the kids are in sports too, so I had to just make sure I was just multitasking and doing stuff as well. But because I saw the hard work she was doing and everything that she had on her plate, I knew that I was able to do it. I could do it. I knew that I could just take care of them, and I could just be able to be another role model for them.
Absolutely, and congratulations to you on all of the high-achieving courses that you're taking. It's really very impressive. Let me ask you, what do you plan to major in now that you've graduated from high school?
I want to major in child psychology, because as a kid, I went through some tough times as well, and I know that children, they have such intricate minds, and sometimes people underestimate their thought process. People underestimate how they feel things. And I want to be able to just be there for them and relate with them, because I know what it's like.
Oh my goodness, so you can see the impact that you are making on your daughter, because she is responsible, she had tasks, she met the tasks, there were challenges, she was able to step up to the plate to provide that support. So now with Mom, I'm sure you're very proud of Mom. And so, Ms. Aragon, tell us, with your company, what do you do there? Because this is really quite a marvelous testimonial to how the time that you invest in getting an education can result in excellent employment opportunities.
Yes, ma'am. So with my position, I began a couple years ago as a sales assistant. So order entry, just the basic. And through this opportunity of going back to school, they promoted me to a sales associate, which was life-changing for my family. And so I continue to strive to do my best there, because I don't want to stay in that position. With it being employee-owned, I definitely want to grow more in the position. So I'm not planning on stopping school now, because I do want, to do more.
Yes, of course. And so you see now that the challenges were well worth the time that you had to put into that.
Yes.
Gaby, would you agree with that?
Yes, I do. Because we have a new house. She had got herself a truck, and we have all the things that when we were younger that we always dreamed about, but it felt like just so close but so out of reach. And now, since with the new opportunities, we're able to have that, and we're so proud of her and everything she's done.
And I'm sure she's very proud of you as well. In fact, you were mentioned by your mom, and she was telling me about all of her children when we had the conversation. And so for you, that time invested also was valuable.
Yes, and it's really weird when you think about it, because just like you could inspire your children could inspire you.
Right.
And she has, I've let her know she's been one of my biggest inspirations.
That's what you told me.
Like she said, she went through a rough time, when she was young, and it affected all of us. But if you see her now, the way she was in sports and AP,
Brilliant.
dual credit, she's the worship leader of our church, and now she's off to bigger and better things. And I can't be even, more proud of her than I am.
And we are proud of both of you as well.
Thank you.
And so we have just a few minutes left, and I would really like to get recommendation, any remarks that you would like to make. We have about 30 seconds, in fact. So what would you like to leave with the audience that's viewing the program?
I would just say, do not hold back.
Do not hold back.
Do not hold back, because there will always be something that's
Absolutely.
going to hold you back.
Very good. And from you, Gaby?
I just think just don't give up on your dream.
Oh, how marvelous. Well, I thank you both so very, very much, and I wish both of you continued success.
Thank you.
You're very impressive. Ms. Angelina, Aragon, and Ms. Gaby Serrano, and thanks to your company as well.
Thank you.
So please stay with us. We'll be right back.
HCC. So many careers, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
One of the objectives we had with moving from centers of delivery to centers of excellence was to strengthen our relationships with industry across Houston. The whole idea of the Center of Excellence was to create an ecosystem where our partnerships are so tight that we can quickly develop programs that support industry, create jobs here in Houston, and then grow the economy and keep us as a global leader in many areas.
HCC. So many classes, so little tuition. Register today at hccs.edu/now.
Welcome back to Credential Up Houston. Now, if you're wondering how you can credential up also and change your life, we have Ms. Chameeta Denton joining us. She is the advising manager for the HCC Online College. She will share information about how you can enroll in face-to-face and in online courses at the Houston Community College. Ms. Denton, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So tell us about the opportunities for students who want to credential up, who want to earn a certificate or degree. How can they go to the campuses and enroll, and how can they enroll online?
Absolutely. So HCC is very large. We have campuses across Houston. So if you live in the Katy area, we have opportunities for you there. Or if you live here, we have downtown areas as well. So students can go on campus. They can do their testing there. They also have hybrid classes at the various different campuses where they can attend. There they can get services from admissions, enrollment. We have counselors, also ADA counselors available for those who have disabilities and need assistance for that as well. In regards to the advising, we have over 110 advisors that can assist students. And they're there, they're specialized, they're very aware of the challenges that our students face, and just prepared to help them and service them in any way possible. In addition to that, we have 100% online programs as well, and that's where I'm housed in the HCC Online Division. There we have, close to 20,000 students now who are taking 100% online classes.
Well, that's very impressive. So for the students who are interested in the online courses, and as you indicated, there are quite a number of students who are interested in that, and particularly for working adults, right, and for homebound students. Mm-hmm. We heard stories from stay-at-home moms. Mm-hmm. We have heard stories from working moms, working dads, etc., or even single parents for that matter. Right. So what would they need to do in order to get in touch with us? And tell us about the services that you provide in terms of the advising and the counseling and the tutoring and so forth.
Absolutely. We make the process as seamless as possible for them, so they can do everything from the comfort of their homes. As long as they have a computer, they will be able to register for their classes 100% online. They're able to contact one of the advisors if they need additional assistance. So we're open from 7 a.m. and we have advisors available all the way until about 8 p.m. at nighttime. We have technical support available to them should they need it. We also have an enrollment specialist available for them to help them and assist them register in their courses. In addition to an online counselor, we have a specific counselor that's available for our online students. Tutoring, as you mentioned, is 100% free. 100% online. They're available 24/7 with all subjects across the board, which I think is, very necessary for our student population, especially those like you were mentioning who are stay-at-home parents or single parents and don't, have the luxury of coming to a campus to get those services provided for them. We have it all available online, and if we can't get it done online, one of the advisors will be able to go to a campus and make that happen for them.
That sounds excellent. And of course, now it's not just discrete courses that students can take and get. They can get certificates and degrees fully online as well. Correct. And that is what makes it convenient for the working adult. But I think also, and we worked on this, and I think it's pretty magnificent, that there are transfer opportunities as well to fully online four-year institutions that makes it a whole lot easier for the working adult who gets the fully online degree from HCC to continue to work at their place of employment and get the fully online baccalaureate degree at a four-year university, which is very impressive.
Yes.
So now, as you talk to students on a regular basis, some of them are saying, well, we'd like for you to come out and we'd like for you to display information about online. We would like for you to distribute at booths all of the literature and so forth. How do you respond?
And we respond by going out there. We hit the field. We've done a lot of outreach and recruitment events over the past year. I'm very proud of my staff for being a part of that, and for you helping us out with those opportunities. We've gone to various different events. We go to high schools, middle schools, community centers, any major events that's going on in Houston, so we can put the word out there about HCC online. As you mentioned, we have those transfer programs. So if they want to transfer over to a four-year university, they have the opportunity to do that while taking all of their classes online. We have partnerships now and articulation agreements with the four-year institutions to make that, process as seamless as possible as well.
So what about dual credit students, for example, and particularly the high school students who may be homebound or homeschool students? Are there opportunities available for them online?
Yes, absolutely. We have a lot of dual credit students and homebound students who are taking online classes, and they have their own counselor that's helping them, but we also provide, help for those students as well. And we know they have their own unique challenges that they're, faced with, but we are there with them as well.
Well, that's very encouraging, and I hope that this information will inspire those who have always wanted to go back to school to consider the various options that the Houston Community College provides. And if going to a campus is a challenge, then of course, all they need is a laptop.
That's
and
right.
They can go online. Well, this is very good, Ms. Denton. I'd like to thank you so very, very much for joining us. You do a magnificent job. And so do all of the advisors that you have working for you. So we'd like to thank Ms. Chameeta Denton, who is the advising manager for HCC Online.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. And we thank you so much for joining us as well. We always say to you that we really appreciate you, and we ask you to remember to always credential up. So we'll see you next time.